We are back at Evelyn's house. You guys get there. Jim is just sort of hanging out, waiting in the foyer. Takes you a good chunk of the night, probably half the night, to do some of your stuff. Seems a little bit annoyed, but you're back. You don't seem so hungry anymore. He's fine with it.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, it's not like we got important stuff to do or anything. Before we start on this, I'll tell you a bit of the theory I have working. I think one of the clans, the Tremere clan, might be responsible for what happened. Yeah, you guys don't know about them, so I don't know about nothing.
Nope.
Do you want to hear the whole story with them, or do you want quick and short?
Let's do the whole story. Let's do some
Quick
details.
and short.
All right, gather around. Old Jim's gonna tell a story.
Yeah, you should have showed up.
I had to take care of you. Okay?
So leans back in a chair. I see waiting around the couches and whatnot. So the Tremere, one of the 13 clans, they were the only ones who didn't start as a kindred. They started as sorcerers back when that was a thing. They captured some Zamishi, which is a different clan. They did experiments with their blood, and they managed to turn themselves into kindred. Then Tremere himself, the head of the clan, diablerized Salat. Salat was one of the original 13. So by eating him, or drinking him, he took all of that power and became a founder of his own bloodline. Salat was one of the greatest, probably the most noble of the 13, but Tremere smeared his name to ease their acceptance into kindred society. So the Camarilla would turn the other way while they hunted down the rest of his bloodline. Honestly, I feel like things would be a lot better now if Salat was still around, as was his line, but here we are. And despite these acts against other kindred, which is very much against the rules of the Camarilla, their blood magic was too useful to get rid of. Now they find themselves among one of the most powerful clans, despite being the second youngest. So Tremere had a council of 7, as he called it. Other sorcerers like him, the original mages who became vampires. They decided they very carefully chose who they embraced. And anyone they embraced, they immediately bloodbound. It's guaranteed that these people at the top had complete control. The organization was sort of a strictly controlled pyramid almost, with everyone bloodbounding the ones beneath them and so forth, making sure all the power consolidated at the top. It's a very strict hierarchy. Well, and this led them to become what they are until about 10 years ago. Their chantry, that's what they call their headquarters in Vienna, it was destroyed by the Second Inquisition, as we call it, the people who hunt us. So the clan became fractured, sliver of their former glory. The pyramid was broken into 3 groups. One of the groups follows a man named Karl Schrecht. He was very loyal to the Camarilla, a former hunter, Justicar, respected and very powerful kindred. He's also a traditionalist, a fool if you ask me. He wants things back to how they were. He wants Tremere back to its strict power structure and back to its former glory. Then there's House Karna, perhaps the only Tremere offshoot that actually benefited from Vanna's destruction. Karna is they're primarily made up of the female members of the clan, which are a minority in the clan Tremere and treated as such. They grew tired of the patriarchy, of their founders, and the pseudo-enslavement of the blood bond. And Karna herself managed to find a way to break this blood bond. One of the only kindred I know who's accomplished such a thing. So, they're still talented in blood magic. But they subscribe to more of the New Age, different interpretations of magic, not the strict hermetic disciplines that the Tremere used to. And because of that, they fall more in line with the Anarchs, but also their numbers are growing. They're not as strict with who they choose. They don't enslave who they choose either to embrace. They probably were one of the weakest offshoots, but in time they could be the strongest. And finally we have House Goretrix. They're the ones I believe may be responsible for this. Goretrix was one of the original Council of Seven. He was actually the mastermind behind the whole ritual to turn them into vampires. And he lost his way. Not that his way was really all that good to begin with. He defected from the Tremere proper, started his own house of anti-tribu. That's what we call people who are part of the Sabbat. Those are vampires who believe they're the proper rulers of everything. They believe vampires should be in charge and humans should be subjugated.
Superior race kind of thing.
Very much so.
Fucking fascists. I hate fascists, man.
We know.
Yeah. He also created the first gargoyles, which are sort of...
What?
Yeah, they did a lot of experiments, and they created another kindred offshoot to kind of be their muscle.
So when you like say in magic, you don't mean like wands and like Harry Potter and shit, do you?
More like blood sorcery and rituals. And
Witches.
So there's blood magic.
witches, that's more House
What?
Karna. They do more, like I said, it's like hermetic
both?
geometry.
Eye of Newt and...
Yeah, I mean, magic's a thing.
So there's blood magic, there's gargoyles, and we're vampires. This is the world we're living in.
Yeah.
Great. Sorry. Please go on. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, any questions you have, feel free to ask.
What the
Unless
fuck?
you're people.
Like... Oh.
Nah, not that I'm aware of.
Mole people.
Probably not.
Loch Ness Monster?
I have no idea.
Just say yes for me, please.
I will not.
I
Either way, these
guess
are
those
those
peaceful.
left. And those ones are the
It's
ones
not
who
my
want to
second
be...
race.
They don't care about the masquerade. They don't care about hiding who they are. They think eventually vampires should be open about who they are, and everyone should get in line. And what happened at your school seems in line with that. Never...
Why high schoolers?
I don't know. Well, I have a theory.
And?
Yes, please. Go.
So the Tremere, they were as successful as they were because they hide the power. They hide what they know about magic. They don't want other people learning about it. So they hoarded it, and right now they've lost a lot of it when Enchantress fell. So right now they're frantic to find anything to unlock the mysteries of thaumaturgy and grow their power again. And I believe they might have somehow learned about a quest of mine. I know quest is a silly word to use, but I can't call it anything else. I believe a very powerful item that was in Vienna is wound up in St. Louis. I was close to finding it, but I had some setbacks. And apparently I think I might be close again. I believe this might have been a message to get me to back off.
A lot
So
of collateral damage with that message.
That's the Sabbat way.
So this item must be of great importance, then I imagine.
Most likely, maybe more important than I even realized for them to take such drastic measures.
So
Why?
what part of the Tremere are you, Janitor Jim? You've explained a lot of little sects.
Well, I mean, up until 10 years ago, we were all just one, really. Besides the Goretrix, I was just part of Clan Tremere.
Were you bloodbound?
I was. My sire passed, so I was free. And I had accomplished enough of my own to be allowed to go off and do my own studies. I never much liked how they did things. I don't trust or really care for most of our kind, if I'm being honest. So I sort of disappeared. And they would have come after me eventually, but then they got theirs, and I've been sort of on my own, which is nice.
So you said you were free when your sire passed away, meaning we have to answer to ours?
Under the old laws, the Camarilla laws, yes, those are very strict. They have to get permission to even turn someone into a kindred. But, I mean, the Anarchs don't have these strict rules, but they would not do what they did like this.
Or
It's considered very wrong to just turn someone and leave them on their own.
We're an exception, not a rule.
You're a tragedy, really. But the Sabbat usually do it, but they'll do it to create soldiers, to create a swell of kindred to use as fodder or something.
are Sabbat strictly old Tremere?
No. Sabbat or any vampire loses his way who embraces the beast.
So that explains that we're all different clans then, right?
Yeah, anyone could be Sabbat. It's more of a, think of it as a political affiliation more so than a blood.
So if we want revenge on people that turned us,
We'll have to find out who they are. And it sounds like Zoe might know. Or at least that's the closest we can get.
She was acting kind of weird the one party that JC showed up at.
The creepy girl you saw.
Maybe he's onto something there.
and she's crying red. So
Also, she tried to get me to not be there, so. I think
maybe
we got
you should
ourselves-
reach out to her.
Well, if she's working with them, she's going to be very dangerous, and she's might be bloodbound. Talking to her might not do anything, but
Isn't the fact that she tried to get me to not be there mean anything?
That's what I was
I'm
thinking.
assuming she wasn't a kindred then.
I don't know.
You would have seen her during the day. Like, you were going to school at that time, so.
You would have seen her at prom during
How
the day
would-
getting.
Yeah,
How would she know what she did?
Maybe she's that.
they told her they're working with her. I don't know, but we need to find out. We need
Maybe
to find out
she
from
was
her.
like one of those ghoul things or something.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Man, I like Zoe.
Either way, there's a way to maybe get her to talk. But it's gonna involve you finding a very particular blood. I would do it myself, but I have some other things to track down with. If I'm on the right trail, I need to make sure everything's okay with the school. I need to check that the others we saw in that live feed aren't vampires. This will be another sort of... Well, we'll get into that after the fact. But first, we need to figure out what you guys can do and know how to use it.
I got ideas.
I tasted your blood. I have some ideas as well for each of you. Let's spend the rest of the evening figuring that out. Shall we?
Here.
Okay. For the rest of the evening then, probably all as a group, and then he'd split you up on occasion to work with different things. He would explain the disciplines, these abilities that are in your blood that you're able to tap into. And they could get stronger as your blood gets stronger. He would explain that you can also learn different disciplines that would require drinking the blood of one who possesses them, if it's not inherently in you. He would spend some time with Jordan and Evelyn, going over your aspects, your heightened senses, showing you how to open your eyes and ears to really pick up on things, but also warn you that your senses could be overloaded this way. If something too bright, too loud, too anything like that were to happen while you're this going. Herb, he would go over sense the unseen with you. Let you know that with this, you could be seeing things that exist on different realms, different places. You would be able to see spirits, though Jim personally is terrified of them and tries not to. He doesn't know much about them, nor does he care to.
Whoa, that's
You-
crazy.
Would also show you in the middle of the foyer, sort of into the, he has started to make a ward that you guys can see. He's like, has a bunch of stuff set up there. It's like he's doing some sort of ritual, but you can't see what he's doing. You can. You can see in blood this weird writing sort of in a ring and different symbols starting to be traced and connected. It's It's very intricate, but the very beginning stages. He would, do you have any question?
Yeah, what is that?
Something actually I'll need to spend some time with you. I think you might have a bit of that Carno blood in you. I remember from your blood, you seem naturally resistant to being bloodbound. That's good. And you also have, you have the makings for thaumaturgy in you.
Alright.
Magic. Sort of like you understand chemicals and whatnot, maybe alchemy in your own way.
You mean, sure, I've done some cooking.
It's sort of like that, but with blood.
Sure.
I could show you more. It's important that if you have this, so you hone this.
Alright, so, seems like I can, see ghosts sometimes. I can, make sense of what you're doing here. I can,
Yeah.
I've noticed I could be a bit unnaturally quiet when I really wanted to be, but none of that's really gonna help me, stand up to, large men who wanna, beat the shit out of me.
Sure.
So, I mean, do
There's
you think I got
rituals for
anything
that.
like that?
Well, that's why you're in a coterie. You have other people that can do that for you. But I can show you.
Maybe do it.
He would show you a way that by cutting yourself and focusing on your blood and chemical makeup of it, and, just the essence of it, you can make it to where your blood is corrosive. It would work with you taking a log maybe from a fireplace that she has, and by spending some time just dripping your blood, it would just eat through this wood, disintegrate it completely after some time.
Training characters.
Jesus.
He would also give you some books. He'd find ones that you can actually understand. A lot of them are different languages that have some different rituals in it. If you'd like to choose a level 1 ritual to learn.
Yes, I would.
While that is happening, he shows Jordan Elijah cloud memory, which you've already started to get a hang of a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A hang of it?
He reminds you that it doesn't replace a memory, it just simply erases it. So if someone were to think too hard about what happened, they would know something's missing. So it could cause a lot of distress, but it's definitely good at a pinch.
So it doesn't do what you did with Lily. I tried it out and I
No,
thought
no.
I did what you did, and
I can completely replace, well, it's not really replace, and I can paint over the memories. You can just make them go, take them away.
I guess that's better than nothing.
In time, you might be able to do what I could do. You possess something a bit more dangerous and useful.
Me or Jordan?
Jordan here. We get into memorize. It talks about how mesmerize. You can make people follow suggestions you have, follow your commands. Taking away a person's consent like that can be traumatic, though, but incredibly useful, as you can imagine. I'll admit I slip up and I use this without consideration at times, so I very much try not to. I hope you will use it more responsibly. If you ask someone to do something against their nature, they have a better chance of resisting it. And it's got to be something that doesn't require a lot of cognition from them. Something that they can follow without thinking about it. But it's one of the things that I think is the most monstrous things we could do, once you start messing with people's minds. But I do it myself. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders, though. I feel comfortable showing you how to use these further. He would show Jordan and Evelyn how to tap into their awe. Something that will make a couple of respectably attractive individuals, such as yourselves, damn near impossible to ignore. People will be more agreeable and inclined to please you, especially the weak-willed. But once they're out of your presence, the effect is worn off. Their mind will get right. They won't necessarily be agreeable by default, but definitely helps in the moment. But it's an attention getter. Sometimes you don't want attention, so use it wisely. With you, he's not as familiar with doesn't possess a lot of the physical talents that their powers give that seem to be coursing through your blood. Your cat-like grace, your lethal body, your prowess.
Yeah, at a treehouse I learned I can balance real well now.
Yeah, you're definitely the blood and use that of a predator. You'll be able to use that, but you're going to become more of a weapon. So be careful about that. Especially a Bruja with that sort of strength and their blood's a dangerous thing indeed. Your kind used to be a clan of poets, scholars, and warriors. Don't fall into the stereotype of the rabble and the angry that a lot of the people associate with your clan. But you're going to be stronger than you're capable of as a mortal. That's for sure.
I guess that's a blessing in disguise.
It'll come in handy.
Kind of killed someone already.
Won't be your last, but I
Don't say that.
try not to.
It didn't. When you're talking about the beast coming out, that's. I feel like I didn't have a choice. She was coming at me with a knife, and I didn't intend to do it. And
The beast is quick, and if you don't keep a tight leash on it, it'll get away from you and make you do things you don't want to do. It's the quickest way to lose who you are. You just become an animal. I have a lot of ways and methods of taming the beast. Not rejecting what we are, but I believe there's a balance between humanity
pulled
and
a
kindred.
pamphlet that I took.
Why did you take that?
I was lost and confused, and this seemed to.
That
calm
wasn't
me
yours to take.
down.
Please do not take anything from my establishment. Did you take anything else?
Just this. I calmed me down that night. I'll give it back to him.
Keep it. That's something about a Galconda. It's a path some of us try to follow to become more than man, more than beast, the best of both worlds, in control. It definitely has some of its foundation in those teachings.
Okay.
Most kindred think it's bullshit, but most kindred are happy to become what they are.
Right.
We could get more into that later.
Sure.
Sorry.
No. So I'm a weapon, you're saying. Don't fall into the tropes of anger.
Be a weapon for good. Be one that defends yourself, defends yourself and the people you care about. So seeks out children. He'll get into Unswayable Mind with Evelyn and Herb. I'll explain that while some are just supernaturally stubborn, others are able to tap into something and make the things me, Jordan, can do to people's minds more resistant to it, which is good to do. I would encourage Jordan to utilize this technique, but she might. That's more of the stubborn aspect. I feel like you two might be able to tap into what I do, sort of reach a level of calmness, zen, for lack of a better word. Be masters of your mind. There are people that will try to manipulate it through supernatural means. And I also sense you have what is quite prized by a lot of Toreador. They call it the lingering kiss. I don't know anything about that, but some kindred
It's all right.
are known to have a truly euphoric bite. Mortals can get addicted to this. Makes them easier to control after. It's easier to feed from someone when they really crave it. You can cultivate your own herd with it, honestly. But be careful. I mean, you can choose who to use it. I think you'll know what to do when the time is right. You can feed from someone without activating it, but if you want them to stick around, if you want them to really feel something, good.
If you want to hear him, that's what he said.
I didn't say that. But yes, that's true. That is within your ability.
Don't you dare take that step.
So, as the night begins to end, says, I'll be back to finish this. Since it took a little too long, but
Sorry about that.
this is a ward. a ward against kindred. Every time you walk into this house, you don't walk straight ahead. I'm going to put a nice rug or something over it. You walk in, you go to the sides. This thing that I'm making, if someone, a kindred, were to run right through, it'll shake them up pretty good.
Like how
This
good?
place is pretty. God damn it! No, not like a salt shaker, like a.
Like a blender?
I guess there's a song about salt.
Polaroid maker.
Shake it like a Polaroid. That's not a salt shaker, but like a blender.
You think about Salt and Pepper, which is an artist.
Now, if you're
So-
talking about the Yin Yang twins, I am familiar.
I found that pamphlet.
It was one of
You
his
just
records.
stay out of my records.
It was in between a bunch of jazz.
Anyway, someone comes in, you'll know, because it seems like this place is shit for defenses.
Besides like being massive,
Might be.
but it's like more of a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
this is the main way in and out. Even if if you get them to walk through this middle area, they'll get it. All right? Don't you guys walk on it. I don't have time to make it to where it won't affect you guys. So sort of an all or nothing.
Thanks,
Just
Jim.
walk around
Don't forget.
Appreciate it.
I'll just go through the back door.
Now, to get answers, you guys have some decent abilities, but you might need something more. This is going to be another story time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to talk to you about blood. It's, as you know, it's more than just plasma, cells, and platelets. It carries a part of the soul. Some mortals have souls so strong that their vitae is charged with its essence. It's something you can taste and feel. We call it a person's resonance. It's typically a combination of their temperament and state of mind during the feeding. You'll know it's a sharpness, a kick. Look at images, whispers, feelings, clouds of trauma, desire, hopes, and nightmares. The vivid memories, heart-rending pain. It's quite a rush, quite a meal. It can actually affect your own resonance. You have yours too. But also, a strong enough one will make the beast more in tune with certain disciplines and abilities. Blood with especially potent resonance carries something we call a Dyscrasia. Sort of a higher level of that spark that allows our blood to perform in its maximum potential. Even do things normally outside our grasp. Blood like this is rare, but we're going to need some of it if we're going to get people to start talking. Now, to get into a bit of the, well, I call it the science, the categorization. It varies by regions, cultures, belief systems, but the Tremere are the experts at it, so we'll use their terminology. They put resonance in 4 categories. The 4 humors, if you're familiar with it. This goes back to ancient Egypt, Babylon. It's codified. Anyway, I could talk about this for a while, but it's sort of broken down into 4 elements, 4 different Jungian functions, hormones, and perhaps the easiest to know what to look for is 4 temperaments, personalities, emotions. A lot of kindred will purposely fill their prey with a certain emotion during the hunt to sort of flavor the blood to their liking with these resonance, scaring them, seducing them, drugging them, etc. The 4 are, one is choleric, or fire, feeling, it's your adrenaline. This tends to reside in the angry, the violent, bullies, those full of envy, or maybe just especially passionate. This is tied to celerity and potence. Then we have melancholy, or earth, thinking, comes from the thyroid. It resonates in those that are sad, scared, or very intellectual, depressed, or grounded. This is tied to fortitude and obfuscate. Then we have phlegmatic, or water, intuition, the pituitary gland. These are the calm, the lethargic, the controlling, the sentimental, the apathetic, or just plain lazy. We tend to connect this to auspex and dominate. And then we have the one that we're looking for, sanguine, or air, sensation, testosterone, estrogen. This is the happy and the horny, the addicted, the active, flighty, enthusiastic, bubbly. It's tied to blood sorcery and presence. If you drink blood from a bag, it tends not to have any resonance, nor does animal blood, though animal blood does interact favorably with animalism and protein, which none of you possess. So like I said, sanguine is what we're looking for. You find someone with this essence in their blood, I'll be able to give you an ability to get answers out of Zoe.
So, you said like the addicted. I mean, I know a lot of addicts. Man, this sounds pretty easy.
I know a lot of horny people.
There's a lot of people like that, but it takes a different, it's a rare breed that the resonance might be easy to find, but a Dyscrasia is a rare. And to tap into this, you do have to drain the victim completely, taking their lives. Or you can feed from them for 3 nights. I don't know if we have 3 nights, but it'll be up to you. I'm not going to ask anyone to take a life. Usually you only get the benefits out of this once, and then a lot of times it's gone until it surges again in the victim. So use it wisely. Once you tap into this, your next step should be Zoe. The trouble comes into people who have this blood are not only rare, but they're often coveted by kindred. Kindred are usually aware of them. The most likely, if you find someone with this, you're most likely encroaching upon another kindred stock, which is obviously dangerous. But you're new and sireless, so you may be able to claim ignorance under the right circumstances with a particularly forgiving kindred, especially if you don't kill the person with the blood, that is. If you have more time, I would just suggest scouring the city, seeing if you can find someone, but that could take weeks, months. And the longer we wait, the more likely it'll be harder to get to Zoe. I don't like dealing with other kindred, especially since they deal in something called, we call it prestation. You know, the trading, repaying, the incurring of favors. The coin of kindred is blood and boon. It's a cornerstone of our society. Even anarchs recognize favors, probably even more than they recognize wealth and power like the Camarilla do. So, if you want to try to go about this above board, you'll probably have to owe someone, which I don't suggest if you can avoid it. I've done some research. I've been keeping tabs on some. I think your best bets are, well, you got 2 options. There's the Xmas gang. That house I took you to, a guy named Jack. He's in charge of the gang. That's his turf. And I know he's talked about having someone with a good clot, which they call people Dyscrasia. He doesn't often make an appearance there, though. He wasn't there the night you were there. But I mean, he's a meth dealer, he's violent, he's a drug leader, but he does not give a damn about kindred politics. He's outside the city, and somehow that might make him less dangerous.
What'd you say his name was again?
Jack.
And what gang?
Xmas gang.
Is that the gang?
Yeah, you two are running with Buzz, Doc, and Lamb Chop, and Pipes, all wearing the jackets with the X.
The blue X, right?
Also, I mean, a junkie disappearing might be easier to cover up or arouse less suspicion than other targets. But they've seen your faces there. You've been there before, so I don't know. The gang's a dangerous enemy to have. But they're far from any other domains. So you're not to worry about people competing for this prey. That's one option. Another option that frankly, I hesitate to even suggest, but I know you're smarter than you look, and you should be trusted to make your own decisions. There's a place in the city called Arcadia. It's a hangout for some people from House Karma. Their leaders, her name's Octavia. She's considered very generous and especially welcoming to new kindred. And she's one of the most influential kindred in the city. She became so very quickly, though. I mean, the Tremere here, they were the first to be killed during the revolt when the Camarilla were kicked out. She came out of nowhere, helped the Anarchs solidify their power. She's been around ever since. I don't trust anyone in power, though. Like I said, I've not heard anything bad about her, but anyone who's that good should be considered dangerous. But I do know she generally asks for blood as payment instead of boons. She's old enough to where human blood doesn't really sustain her. And also, again, this is asking a lot of them, and that's dangerous, but I know you have the issue with your brother being blood-bound. Oh, man, that's a tongue twister. Your brother is blood-bound.
Yeah.
Don't make it to me light of a pretty awful
Kind
thing.
of fucked up, Jim.
Oh, we should find another word for that. Anyway, as for my little spiel before, House Karna are the ones who figured out how to break those bonds. She might be able to help with that.
I mean, or we could just, like you did, axe JC.
I mean, yeah, if you kill JC, that's an option too. I'm saying I'm just laying all my cards out.
I don't want to. You don't have to.
Anyway, I gotta get going. You guys gotta rest. I'll be back tomorrow to finish this up. You can hang on to that, and I can work with you on maybe getting the details right on one of those rituals.
So, I mean, can I also learn this word stuff and a ritual, or is it one or the other?
We'll probably start with one.
Alright.
Take it easy. And then I believe I could probably teach you a ward. A ward against our kind is quite advanced, but maybe I could help you out do a ward against ghouls. Humans with the blood. That could be useful.
Sure. Alright.
Which one do you want to start learning first?
I haven't quite made up my mind yet, so.
No rush. I think you got the old corrosive vitae down pretty good. Anyway, anyone have a question for me?
How do I know when I've used that lingering kiss?
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It won't happen by accident unless the beast has a say, but something you'll be able to do. I assume it's something just like really kissing someone. Again, not my forte. I ain't putting
You
in.
ever kissed anybody, Jim?
I've kissed people. I haven't lingered on it, but I've kissed people.
Fucking lingers, man.
You have to let it linger.
We'll teach
Take
you
a stain.
that
Take it.
later.
Make him take a stain.
You guys will be all right.
So like, what if I wanted to like make a man in his late 40s, early 50s disappear?
What?
Never mind, Jim. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, Herb. Anything else before I take my leave?
Sorry for stealing from you.
Nah, it's all right. Sorry for losing my temper. All right.
I had a bad joke, but
I feel like I can't, there's always, it gets awkward with you guys. I can never just have a clean break. Good night.
Alright, Jim. How, is it like almost morning?
Yes. We've been spending quite a bit of time doing all this. Yeah, you guys have a few moments before you hunker in for the day if there's anything else you'd like to do.
I'll shoot an email to my dad.
Saying what?
Yeah, just
Oh,
these
wow.
nuts. Hello. Edward says you're in the Himalayas. I hope you're doing well. You may see something about my school. I want you to know that I'm okay when you do see it. I'm at home. I'm not sure what's going to happen graduation and school-wise, but I hope that everything is well with you. I hope that business is good. I love you. Yours.
Okay. You send the email. Anyone else have anything?
What is it like about to be sunrise?
Yes. Y'all
No.
take your sweet ass time.
I'm not gonna risk it. I was just gonna see if I could go on the roof and just grab like morning air before the sun rises, just to gather myself before I hunker down for the day.
Sure. You go up, and as it starts to go from black to gray, you have. Your blood's roused, your heart's beating, and it starts really beating. There's this instinctual fear. You thought this would be relaxing up here. It's not. Just knowing that what's looming. Right now, everything in you is just telling you to get inside.
I'm like Cat's Grace right into my room.
Sure.
I'm gonna lock my door tonight.
Right after Jim left, did we have like about an hour?
Probably a little less.
I think I've chosen which ritual I want to try, so I want to just try to do this before the
Sure.
morning comes. Just gonna grab a couple rocks from around outside, kind of cut myself open and grab one of like a prop chalice, kind of when everyone wasn't looking.
Sure.
How
Okay.
I just pointed you to the chalice.
pouring my blood into it and kind of submerging the pebbles and kind of roughly repeating the chants from within the book that he had given me to try to create bloodstones.
Okay. Let's start with a rouse check.
Okay. It's just one, right?
Mhm. You lose some blood. You feel hungry because of it. Give me an intelligence plus blood sorcery.
Three successes.
Okay. Following the book, this is the book, and then you can see this transcribed in English. Clearly, Jim has very nice handwriting, actually, but very good script. You follow the instructions, you do everything, and it works. This little stone, you leave it in the room and walk out, and there's some connection you have. You've lost some blood, you're a little hungrier, but you can feel that connection is now in this little stone.
It does take a couple of nights for it to finish.
Yeah. Okay. And then you guys.
Oh God.
Go to bed.
All right.
The next day.
Night.
The next night. Everyone give me a rouse check.
Oh man.
Mhm.
Ooh, critical. I'm get all my hunger gone.
You're not hungry, you're not hungry. You're 3 hungry now?
I know that life.
Can I do blush of life?
You ever
let's
been
get
a
it
train
right.
wreck before?
That's a success. You're not hungry.
Can I
Yeah,
do-
anyone who'd like to do Blush of Life, you can do it for the evening.
Woohoo! If I get 2, does it matter?
No, as long as you have one success.
Do we know what we're doing this evening? Do
Well,
I
I'm
need to
double
risk
blushed.
it?
It's up to you guys. What path, what lead you're going to take.
What's sounding good to you guys? I don't really.
I had an idea of what
I
we
was-
should do.
Thought,
Jim coming over?
but I don't.
Is he?
He said he'd come over to finish the ward he's making.
So it's on us to figure out this thing for Zell. I think that's what he was kind of hinting at.
Well, he also would have said, essentially, you'll have to pick who among you is going to be getting this. So unless you each want to drink from this person 3 nights in a row, you would have to that's a lot of blood to take for one person. 2 of you might be able to do it, but otherwise you'll probably have to designate a person who's going to drink and get this ability. He would suggest it's someone who's good at talking, good at manipulating, or has a connection with Zoe already. Because the thing that you'll be doing requires physical touch with her.
What are you doing tonight,
So,
Jordan?
what
You
I'm-
busy?
Guys, we gotta worry about getting the blood first before we even run into this, alright? So,
Well, this is he's saying who's going to choose. Again, so you'll make the decision if you're going to try to bring someone back and keep them for 3 nights, drinking from them each night, or if it's someone that one of you is just going to drain, and you'll have that ability right away.
I would
So-
suggest 3 nights, right?
for sure. And, I mean,
I know it's
kind of
tough.
feel weird recommending this, but you guys probably noticed like the other night I came back kind of beat up and stuff.
Yeah, try to reach out to you.
Yeah, no, it's chill, man. I was just kind of feeling bummed, but I was
Sharon, but
over trying to find Delilah, and her dad, he's taken her, and I mean, I got there, and you know, I'm real quiet and stuff, and I snuck on there, and Delilah came down, and you guys might not know this about me yet, but I can sometimes just like smell and like sense people's blood, and I'm like 95% certain Delilah's one of them. She's I think she's got the blood, and I think we should try to rescue her.
the
Why?
so you want to take her and feed on her for 3 days?
Yeah,
Do you want to feed on her for 3 days?
I mean that'd probably be best. I mean I'm like always been pretty open with her. I wasn't planning on hiding any of this from her.
Oh,
Don't look at me. The last time you went there, the dad beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Mr. Stevenson
You two
was
are.
a football player in high school, and then he did a stint in the Marines.
Wait, what was his name?
Mr. Stevenson,
The
Stan.
insurance?
Stan Stevenson.
No,
the
no.
So that's
he's a-
not him.
corporate.
no.
He's a corporate lawyer, like you
Mm-hmm.
said.
The corporate lawyer.
Yeah, he's a big guy though.
I mean,
So-
you two are good at talking your way in, right?
I mean, I could.
Pose as a friend or something?
I mean,
I mean, I was
I could.
thinking we just, you know. Do you guys ever see that
way
Taken
through.
movie?
Which one? I've only seen the third one.
There's 3.
No, mostly the first one, the part where the
Emily,
girl
that
gets
Rachel
taken.
doesn't.
That's kind of what I was.
The part we're
Is
gonna
that
take the
Hero?
girl.
I mean, I
Wouldn't
mean,
that
you guys
rouse
could like
suspicion?
just like kind of, you know, wash the parents' brains. And you could
I-
take the dad, right?
What I found out
You
last
got
night
this.
was I don't have Jim's powers. I can only do like
But I mean,
10 minutes.
you guys can just like make them forget who even invaded their home.
Yeah, I mean.
She's like captive there. She's not gonna flip on us
But
once
I
we
mean-
get her out.
he'd suspect you, but he wouldn't suspect here.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
So we could.
So no one knows you're staying here? Your parents?
I haven't told anybody. I just told my parents I was gonna go try to find Delilah. That's about it.
Wait. So like you went to your parents and you said, "I'm gonna go find Delilah,"
I said hi.
and then you said, "I'm gonna find Delilah,"
Yeah.
and then you haven't gone back.
I mean, I picked up some things. My computer. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, you've got your laptop.
Yeah.
You might want to close some tabs, by the way.
Leave them open. We're fine.
I mean, I was
I'm not
doing
gonna yuck your
research
yum.
for us, so it's kind of
Oh, cool. Anything interesting?
yeah, a lot of interesting things. I think this vampire stuff goes way deeper than we were even thinking.
What gave that away?
I can't even go into it right now, but we gotta stay focused on the task at hand. I think we should try to rescue Delilah.
Well, let's do a game plan. You lead us there because none of us know where Stevenson lives.
Yeah.
And then who knocks on the door? Or do you knock? I mean, do you?
I mean, I can try to
I
like.
can-
Is there a hideaway key we can find?
I can knock
Is
at
there
the
we can sneak in?
I mean, I was able to sneak past the stuff, but that's because I'm really good at that kind of thing.
Could you do it again?
Yeah, probably.
Because I can go to the front door.
Yeah, and then maybe I could slip in the back and just get her. But then if things go sour, maybe.
Wait, you think she has this blood?
Yeah, I think she does.
What gave that away? You can smell it?
Yeah, I can sense things in people's blood. I mean, that's how even though it's not too obvious, I can tell when people are on things. I've noticed. I can smell it and sense it.
I mean, we should get her out anyway, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, 2 birds, 1 stone.
If you trust her, if you really want to show her this side of
I mean, I trust
You.
her with everything, man. I'm like, we have the most open relationship. I told her about my deepest insecurities. I told her about my neighbor, Joseph.
It's okay. It's
Delilah's
okay.
cool. She's good.
No,
for it.
I've seen Delilah before.
I mean, she's my
just-
rock, man. She's not gonna do anything to hurt
I'm just
us.
saying, making sure you're comfortable with her seeing this side of
I
you.
mean, I couldn't live with myself keeping it from her, man. It's not right. We're supposed to share a life.
But what if it?
I can't share a life if I'm hiding it from her.
But what if keeping it from her can protect her?
Are
From
you
all
trying to
this?
justify something for yourself, man?
Going on the roof. I'll be back in a little bit.
Sun's out, but you know that.
I don't know.
on this.
I mean,
Oh fuck you.
I'm sorry. I'm in a musical.
I mean, if you guys really want, I mean, I could even try to lure him away from the home. I mean, I think if I showed up there and he saw me, there's a good chance he'd chase me down and try to kill me.
Do you?
I mean,
No.
wait.
But listen, do you think he's an upstanding husband, like a faithful guy?
I
Would
want
it
to be a home wrecker.
I mean,
That's what Jordan's trying to say to you right now.
No, I'm saying that
I
if
need.
it's something they're inclined to, it's much easier to manipulate.
I mean,
So you
Mr.
do wanna be a
Stevenson's a
homewrecker.
pretty straight edge guy.
He's a piece of shit.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
He
mean,
wrecked his own home.
he
Oh,
shaved
no, I'm
her
not
head.
judging
guys.
you. Hold on.
Like,
Do we even
like
know
a
that he's for sure a
legit-
homewrecker?
He
What?
made this. He
It
would've
was
died.
some
he was
Nazi
a
level
human.
shit.
He
She
shaved his
shaved her
daughter's
head.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked
And
up.
Now
I guess
Keeping
I'm
her
assuming
down.
homewrecker means he's
Down
cheating
with
on
the
his
patriarchy.
wife. That's,
Hey, I don't know about that.
Controls
Mr. Stevenson's a
the
pretty
pursuit
stand-up
point.
dude.
He took the shit out of you.
Mixed messages.
I mean,
I just
to
say
his
that 'cause
family.
he senses
I
you.
think I could approach
Not
him.
necessarily a good person.
okay.
I think I could approach him in a business sense.
I mean, I think we
What?
should just go get her.
I don't know if you know this, but my family has a lot of money.
I mean,
God,
I don't think
Really
the
looking
dude's
for
gonna
partners.
sell his daughter. When
What? No. I mean, I can distract him. I can come up with some bullshit as to why I'm there.
I mean, you show
And
up
then
in the
you
middle of the
sneak in
night with a business proposal.
I don't know.
yeah,
I
you're-
think we
You're
just.
18, man.
I think we could
Nobody's
just
gonna take us seriously.
slip in
My
there.
brother's like
and,
22 representing.
You know, stop them before the alarms go off.
Okay, so the way I see it is these two are good at talking. They have a way about them. They can distract him at the front door. You go around the back door. I'm on retainer, way back in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use me,
What?
but if I need to defuse something, I'm there.
All right.
But I think we can handle this in a more diplomatic way.
All right. So you guys will. How about you guys approach is Delilah's friends?
Yeah, that makes
right.
more
That
sense, yeah.
makes more sense.
The easiest.
And you just want to talk to her and see her, and he's gonna definitely turn her away, turn you guys away from that, and you just distract him, and I'm gonna try to get her out of there. All right?
And then you can cloud his memory.
Yeah. If things go bad, you guys can just.
Or
You
just
know.
do it in no matter what, just to get your face out of his memory.
That'd be nice.
And then I'll be in the shadows.
Glad you're such an integral part of this plan.
Hey, I'm the one helping craft it right now. You want me to go with
The
you
what?
in the house?
I mean, no, you don't have to. I can kind of quietly
Yeah,
sneak
I would
in
just
there.
fuck it up talking with you guys.
I
So.
got it.
Oh God, Jordan. I'm going upstairs on the roof, and I know what time it is.
Okay.
I hate this coterie.
I want to spend a little bit of time before we leave, trying to remember what I can about its security system and doing some research. I assume I've been to their home enough to know what kind of security.
Probably not. You never would have probably hung out at their place.
All right. Well,
Uh,
then I
But
would
you're
look for
familiar
ways
enough.
to,
She definitely snuck out. You know they have motion sensor lights, as a lot of those houses do. You also know they definitely have alarms and everything. They have one of those things where, like, you remember those houses when you open a door, like the voice says, like, front door, back
yeah.
door. They have that. So,
All right. So I'm gonna try to figure out ways to get around that. Then can I just
sure.
do
Give
some
me
research on it?
a larceny intelligence.
That's a break-in, right?
Yes, it is. Your specialty.
Can I help him research? I got some worse from whatever.
It's up to you if you would want him to help.
I've had to break into things before.
How does help work in this?
Get an extra dice.
Yeah, sure, man. If you know anything about that, that'd be good.
Yeah.
And all the help we can get.
So you can pull up on a computer, start doing your own research, sort of with him.
Nice willpower.
Okay.
Did you grab the extra die from me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
he's rolled like.
I'm
Yeah.
rolling a ton of dice.
You find anything, Herb?
It's the side of the
Find some
table.
good stuff over
It's
here.
Still looking,
square,
man.
it's the side
Still
of the
looking.
table.
So roll 3.
Tip below a 3 for good luck.
There you go.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, that's more than enough. So yeah, you you look up
6
enough
successes.
to be able to know where to maybe sort of shut down some of the stuff from the outside, like messing with like a breaker to like essentially have to cut some power.
Right, like I could identify like lines that have been routed into the power box that would
Yeah.
likely be for the security system.
So to at least get it to where it doesn't do that automatic like front door, back like that thing. So you can, if you get in the back door, it's not going to alert anything.
It was like figuring out ways we were gonna like start singing or something to cover up that noise, and this just makes things obvious.
I was just gonna act surprised.
All
I was
right.
gonna start saying
Or
playing
I
white
actually
tees.
have a couple plans.
All
Top
right.
of my
I
lungs.
have a couple thoughts in
All
mind.
right, guys.
How to
I think
cover up
we're
any sort
about
of-
ready. You guys got a good game plan?
I'm not gonna
Jim
Did you
fucking.
already forget it?
Yeah, Jim would have
But
shown
if
up
I
by now.
have
now.
to,
No, I mean you.
And you
two.
see
But if I
Jim,
have to.
he seems just very at ease. He's just methodically working on his thing. He's humming. He seems a man who's very content and at peace while at a task.
I'm gonna be a vampire Buddhist.
Yeah, guys, we don't want to
Vampire what?
bother Jim too, anyways.
What?
I'm gonna have to be a vampire Buddhist now. Look how relaxed he
I
is.
thought you said boobies.
I heard booty.
You
Now we know what we like.
Cat's grace doesn't give me silence, right? It just
Nope. Obviously, it does.
didn't like that. Alright.
Okay, I was gonna ask Jim a question, but he seems like he's working away.
I mean,
so-
you would. You're not. You think you would ask him? Yeah. He's not like so focused where he seems at ease. Where if you talk to him, he wouldn't be like.
He chill.
You seem very comfortable with Jim.
Hey, Jim, sorry to bother you. I know you're kind of busy making this vampire blender, but,
I like that. It's not what it. Well, yeah. What did you need?
Anyway, well, maybe later, I don't know if you'll have some time, or maybe just some, like, information to give me more about the Malkavians. I didn't really hear you talk much about them last night, and I have a lot of questions.
I'll definitely the hardest to talk about, to figure out. They don't really know themselves that well. I mean, I know what I know. Once I finish this up, I'll do some research for you. I think it'd be good for you.
Yeah.
It's that's a tough one to be brought into. Yeah.
But also, you know, we're going to go get Herb's girlfriend tonight. he thinks she might be able to help us with our little zoo mission. But if for some reason that doesn't work out, the club might be a good avenue. Again, probably favors involved. but
Arcadia?
No.
Oh, the
yeah,
Coven.
The Coven. Just the type of people that frequent there. You know, push comes to shove.
That's true.
It's another option. And the girls there are probably decently powerful, at least know things.
I don't know anything about them, so that would be a risk you'd have to take.
For sure.
But you seem to know your way around that type, and they seem to like you there. That could be worth checking in on.
But it's just an option I wanted to.
Yeah, anything that sounds like a good plan to me. Just be careful with anything you choose.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go kidnap Herb's girlfriend, so.
All right, that sounds interesting as well. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thanks. You guys ready?
Beep beep.
I'm so ready.
Fine.
We should
I'm gonna buy
probably
us an
take
extra
like 2 separate cars in case things go south. He could only like follow one of our cars.
You bats.
Just a thought.
You got 2 cars.
We could take the wagon. That's what I got.
The station wagon?
It's not really a station wagon. It's like a
It's
Yaris.
a radio flyer?
It's a Yaris.
Oh,
It's
that's
kind of
stylish.
shaped like a wagon.
Sure.
And then I figured you guys probably drive separately, so we could like even park down the block in case they see you guys get out of the car with us.
So me and you
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the girls.
Let's do that.
Alright. Shotguns.
It's just.
There's just
Alright.
2 of you.
Okay.
Also, I do have some
Already
things in the
undead.
front seat, so.
What's up?
No, don't worry about it. We'll move it. It's fine.
Oh God.
All right, you two use his car. You're taking your car.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys head over
It smells in here.
to Chesterfield,
Not
to
a good driver.
Stevenson's residence. And that is where we'll take our second and final break.
Big bad coming up.
And we'll get to the big boss battle after this.
Fucking
Corporate lawyer.
fascists ahead.